Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So tonight, let me show you this explosive Bitcoin pattern so you don't miss it. So let's get right to it. Welcome, guys. Hopefully you're doing good tonight. Look at Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin right back up to 29.5, 29.6. In fact, we were right at 30,000 once again. Now, yesterday or this morning, I forgot which day, I showed you guys why this went down because we had some unwarranted FUD that some companies spread on Twitter, caused massive dumping, but we're right back to where we were. And it does look like Bitcoin is ready to crack 30,000 once again. So this is very positive. Also, consensus is happening right now, and several big news came out of consensus. So I'm going to talk about those things as well. Today's U.S. market kind of mixed. I saw someone say this in the chat. Amazon actually reported good earnings, and then they shortly dumped afterwards, which actually doesn't make a whole lot of sense, considering all these other guys like Google pumped, Meta pumped, Microsoft pumped. Why did Amazon go down? Well, I could speculate, but I think a lot of people, even though Amazon is a big tech giant, they operate very differently than all the other tech giants out there. You think about it. Amazon has a ton of warehouses, okay, full of goods that may not be selling so much these days. Also, they have an enormous fleet of trucks and delivery people. I mean, they're in a very different situation than everyone else. So that may be the reason why. Even though they're considered big tech because they have AWS, right? But Microsoft Azure is killing it every single quarter, every single year. They're gaining and gaining and gaining, and they're only getting bigger. And Google has their own Google Cloud and everything else. That may be the reason. So I think that's why people are not as bullish on Amazon anymore as before. They're not the same kind of high growth tech company they once were. I'm just speculating, but they are different than if you think about Microsoft, which is purely all software and all cloud. Same thing with Meta. Apple does have, they have their stores, but, Apple products or Apple people are like, they're cult members, right? They will buy Apple no matter what. Amazon doesn't have that, okay? Amazon people just buy because it's cheap, it's convenient, but these days people are saving up a lot more, so it could be something to do with it. But anyways, moving to Bitcoin, well, this is the pattern. It's very clear. If you lay it out like this, it's very clear what the pattern is. Okay, look at 2019. After forming that bottom, Bitcoin, I mean, first of all, look at how laughable it is, right? Those of you guys are panicking at like 16,000 or now at 28, 29,000, right? Just imagine 2019 when Bitcoin was at 3,000 and trying to break above 5,600 and couldn't, and dropped down to about 5,000, right? That was like a 10% drop. That was scary. And it was during a time when people thought Bitcoin was going to go down to 1,000. Okay? You had guys, not going to name names, but guys like Tone Vase that kept saying the hyperwave was saying that Bitcoin was going to go down to $1,000, right? Non-stop. That's all I heard in my streams. Hyperwave says it's going to go down to $1,000, right? So whatever Bitcoin did back in 2019, you see that massive panic whenever there's any kind of weakness, right? But guess what happened? Bitcoin broke out of it and went up. Finally, once we broke up, right? So 2023 is looking very similar. Very similar. We tried to break 30,000. We couldn't. We fell back down a little bit, but now it looks like we will retest. And once we break, we can have the same kind of ferocious run like we did in 2019. Now, in 2019, we kind of overshot a little bit because we went from 5,600 all the way up to 14,000. More than double, almost triple, right? So I'm not expecting us to do the same kind of like triple play, because that means we'll be like going to like $90,000. I don't expect that, but many people think that this bullish push upwards, because we have so much pent-up pressure, right? Maybe getting us to 50,000, 40,000, 50,000. Could be. Could be. Also, you look at this. This is actually TechDev. TechDev is the only guy that does this. Looks at the 10-year Chinese yield versus the American DXY, right? And whenever there's like a flip, well, Bitcoin tends to go up in a big way. Like, he's the only one that does this. But also, he combines with MACD, and you could see, you know, similarities, same pattern. What we're going through now is the same as back in 2021, heading in 2022. Also the same back in 2016, going up to 2018, right? Same pattern. And if we follow it, well, better days are coming, right? There's a lot of patterns, left and right. Here's another pattern. You can't deny this. Now, the very first cycle, a little bit different because Bitcoin is much smaller, right? But you look at the past two. You look at the red line, you look at the blue line, and look at the green line, okay? I mean, pretty much moving the same way. We're right at that point where all the lines start moving upwards in a big way. This is every cycle laid on top of each other. You have that downfall, you have that flatness, and then you have the recovery, and then you have like a crazy pump, right? We're right at that point when things start getting interesting and things start moving up in a big way. Again, another pattern. It's so similar, even though times are very, very different. Very different indeed, right? Just a lot of goodness. You know, I don't have any fundamental stuff to show you guys today, but, you know, I always mix it in there. Growing fundamentals, never been better than now, right? And then macro stuff, bank failures, bank weakness, also helping Bitcoin's narrative. There's just so much going on right now that makes me very, very, very bullish on Bitcoin. Very bullish on Bitcoin. Now, speaking of consensus, it's happening right now. Couple big news. Robinhood is coming out with Robinhood Connect. And it's actually just a fiat on-ramp, off-ramp system. And they want to tie it in with decentralized apps like wallets, for example. A lot of wallets right now. Some use like Simplex for fiat on-ramp, off-ramp. But a lot of wallets don't have that. It's only pure crypto, right? So Robinhood wants to create this product just for everyone. Interesting. Now, a lot of people are trading on Robinhood. I know that. People ask me about Robinhood all the time. They have their own self-custody wallet also, right? They don't have the most trading pairs, obviously, but I think this is a good idea. More fiat on-ramp, off-ramps. The more we have, the easier it is for people to enter the space, right? You got to give the people the convenience, especially right now with all the scrutiny. You know, fiat on-ramp, off-ramp, kind of difficult. Also, Google making big splashes with crypto, specifically with Polygon. Okay, Google Cloud. There's a big partnership between Google Cloud and Polygon. You guys know I'm very bullish on Polygon, even though Polygon has been pretty stagnant recently, right? But this kind of shows you what's going on. With Google Cloud, you could do three things. You could do a one-click deployment, okay, for their SuperNet, their POS, and their ZK EVM. So basically, Google Cloud is going to make it very easy for dApp makers to come on board and start developing within Polygon ASAP, right? That's really what it's about. So Google is definitely expanding their horizons, and it's not just them. Amazon did it with Avalanche, although I haven't heard much about that yet. But also a lot of other tech big giants have done, you know, partnerships like this, right? And it just makes it very easy for anyone to really come into the space if they want to. Also, you know, just so you know, ZK EVM right now looking pretty good. It is 7 times cheaper than Ethereum, even during peak periods. Okay, so that is a win. You guys know during peak periods, Ethereum transactions are out of control. Right now, it's not that bad. It's like $38 sometimes. Most of the time, I think it's like $10 to $12, right? But if you look at ZK roughly about $5. But this is nothing. I have seen, especially with crazy NFT, drops. I still remember when the other side came out and everyone's going nuts over it. The fees went up to like $1,000. It was insane to buy an NFT. Would have cost you $1,000 in terms of fees. That's how congested it can be with Ethereum, and that's the whole point of scaling solutions, not only for transaction but also processing smart contracts, which is what ZK is. So, yes. Also, Fetch AI getting a lot of love. BigGet, which is Tier 2 exchange, Tier 2, Tier 3, is pledging $10 million into Fetch AI, wants them to expand out their agents, their AI agents, and that's not the only pledge. I mean, just last month, DWF gave Fetch $40 million. I mean, that's a lot of funding. That's $50 million right there. They want Fetch to develop their AI agents to basically do everything. Power peer-to-peer applications, automation, AI capabilities, machine learning, I mean, everything, right? So one of the more promising projects in the space, although I'll tell you, I've been talking to a few projects that are about to unleash, okay? There's a lot of AI stuff coming out. People ask me, what's the latest innovation in crypto for AI? We haven't really seen it yet. We have a few projects like Fetch and Singularity, a few others, but we haven't really seen really useful tools come out. But they're coming. They're coming. But Fetch AI getting a lot of love right now, and also they're working on trading tools. AI trading also is very hot, very, very hot. I am advising for a company that does have something like that. And it's really, the whole thing about AI is just really outrageous. What they can do, what artificial intelligence can do is mind-boggling, okay, versus what mere humans can do. It's really the future. Get ready for it. Get ready for AI to replace all human jobs, basically, that doesn't require physical work. And maybe even physical work will be replaced by robots, AI robots in the future, but it's really coming. And then lastly, I saw this. Gary Gensler, not afraid of social media. Every single reply to Gary Gensler is negative. There's not one positive response, but I'm guessing he doesn't actually pay attention. And he also doesn't want to pay Elon $8 to get that blue check mark. So, but anyways, he released another video that compares security laws to goldfish. And he thinks he's real clever making, such a leap, saying that exchanges are operating like goldfish. Right? I don't, it's 4 minutes. It's really long. I don't even want to play it. But you guys can watch it if you want, okay? And what it has to do with goldfish, you guys decide. Go on Gary Gensler's Twitter. And you can watch it, have a good laugh, or get pissed off. Whatever. You could do that on your own. All right, that's pretty much it. Overall, today is not a bad day. Bitcoin is gaining strength again. Bitcoin dominance is going up. We're getting closer to 30,000 once again, right? Several other projects started coming up, but overall today, the alts did not really move. Today is like a Bitcoin day, and there's nothing wrong with that. And there's more Bitcoin days coming up. All right, let's do some Q&A. Not that many people tuned in today. Is notifications working or not working? Low number of turnout. And this is when Bitcoin's actually doing very good. It actually looks like, you know, that just looks like it's about to break out. Let's draw some lines here. So there is one side of the triangle. I mean, that's what it's looking like right now. That looks like a rising pennant flagpole, but that just looks like Bitcoin's like it's so ready to break out right now. TA ICP. I'm not an ICP guy, okay? So, and I'm not a TA guy, other than I draw some lines sometimes. So, Hoseas. Steven, appreciate that. Another super chat. You're tough on ICP, TA, please. All right. I just told you I don't cover TA, especially on ICP, and then you sent me another super chat on ICP. Tony, you know, I do stick to the news, but don't be a cock about it, okay? When you say stuff like that, it makes you look like a cock, and I'm going to put you in timeout because of it. I haven't heard you say strap in for a while. Why do I need to say strap in when you can say strap on? Render is not an AI play, even though people think it is, but it has nothing to do with AI other than people speculating you could use all these GPUs for AI purposes, but it's not really AI play, not directly. Whatever happened to NFT hype? You know, Brian, here's the thing. You know, there's actually a lot of NFT degens out there. It's like it's a whole group, whole separate group. You have like the crypto people and NFT people. And they're kind of like, they're supposed to be mixed, but they're really not. I mean, it's kind of wild. Been hanging around a lot more with NFT folks, and it's just like you have NFT collections, and then you have NFT like based games, GameFi. It's like it's a whole different world, and there are a lot of people that are in it, for sure. Philip, I'm far from drunk. I'm the exact opposite of drunk. I'm very sober right now. Fly says, George, say you have 10K portfolio with top 10 projects, and we go bull run roughly. How much do you think your portfolio will look like? 10K? Probably it'll end up around, I think conservatively, probably like 150,000. I say 15x. If you have the top 10, Bitcoin will probably do a 10x, maybe a little bit lower, maybe 7 or 8x, but those other ones could definitely do more than 10x. Yeah, I'd say somewhere between like 100 and 150,000. Ed says, I have 1.7 BTC. Let's say it pumps 70K equals 119K. Does Coinbase let you take profit of, let's say, 70? What do you mean Coinbase lets you take profit? Ed, you could sell at any time. Coinbase is not going to take profits for you. Not sure where you're going with that. You could take profits anytime and sell off whatever you need to. Thoughts on Magic? I don't know. I don't keep track of Magic too much, but they do seem like they're kind of like a promising L1 GameFi kind of project. Yeah, a lot of games for sure. It's kind of interesting. Gaming platforms obviously have a lot of potential. I still like Gala as number one. Like Vulcan's probably number two. I don't know. Magic has come up quite a bit, and they're on Arbitrum, and Arbitrum is really hot right now, which could be the reason why they got so big so fast. So, Magic could do well. Actually, if you look at market cap, they're bigger than Vulcan. Are they bigger than Gala? Oh, they're close. They're very close. I'll keep a closer eye on Magic. Ben Fried says I'm the OG. I appreciate that. Thank you. Is this a Santa rally? No, because we're not around Christmas time, so no. This is just recovery from bottom. Immutable, I've been talking to someone in Immutable, interesting things, but you know how Polygon ZK EVM, that's a big thing. Like Immutable X is coming out of the chain. They're coming out of their own chain that's called Immutable ZK EVM chain, which is a horrible name, but still, they're coming out of their own chain. They want to onboard a lot of games utilizing ZK EVM. So Immutable X could be interesting. They're kind of like a pure NFT play right now, but after they add their own chain and go heavy into games, could be very interesting. Tommy, you agree an hourglass bag with 10K before bull run is hell of a bag. I'm way heavy on BTC. I want to add some. You know what? If you're very heavy in Bitcoin, you want to add some microcaps, sure, right? Just make sure you're not too heavy in micro. Make sure you got enough Bitcoin, right? And then you got to fill it in with some good big caps, mid caps, small caps, and then just add in some micro, right? If the micro ones like Hourglass blow up, then you will do very well. Obviously, it's going to help carry your portfolio. But if they don't, at least not going to drag your whole portfolio down, right? So that's kind of how I see it. But you can never skip Bitcoin. Too many people make the mistake of skipping Bitcoin. So during periods like now, they regret it because Bitcoin's much stronger. Have I driven a Lexus LFA? I don't think so. That's the crazy one, right? Yeah, I've never driven it. It's like $1 million now. So I don't think I'll ever be able to drive that. JJ, keep asking, what if it's a double top? What if it's a double top? Okay? Like, what are you going to do about it? I see you keep posting the same thing as over and over and over again. If you think it's going to be a double top, then you know what? Then maybe you should take some profits or sell off rather than keep spamming the chat about it. I'm confused with all the off-ramping difficulty talk. Well, it's a lot. Like today I noticed Binance.US used to have 2 ways to off-ramp. You have an ACA wage and a wire transfer. They removed the wire transfer because they're switching banks or something. So fiat off ramp is a little bit more difficult now than before because of all the banks that have shut down, and a lot of banks don't want to deal with crypto exchanges. Do you think Disney's recent struggles are dragging down Polygon? No, Eduardo. Where's the connection between Disney and Polygon? I don't get the connection there. Been a holder, want to get in DeFi. Well, that's a very broad term, DeFi. There's a lot of DEXs, a lot of bridges, a lot of liquidity providers, a lot of yield farming. I mean, there's just a lot of everything. Excited to play your basketball court? I am very excited. I'm excited for the house, excited for it to be done overall, but still many months to go. I posted a Nissan Altima video today. I wonder how it's doing. You guys all, if you're a car guys, you need to head over to Drivers Only and check out all my car reviews. Last few. Polygon is still good play. Yes. Do I collect Jordans? Yes. Whiskey fan? Yes. Zachy says, dunk on Ben Cohen on your court. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? All right, guys. Let's have a good night. Overall, Bitcoin is doing well. Some Amazon didn't do well for some reason. We got some patterns that may be repeating, like 2019. But you know, overall, it's just good to be in crypto. It's good to be holding Bitcoin, good to be holding crypto, and there's so much more that are coming. So smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, and go check out Drivers Only. Take care. Bye-bye.